For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their own automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Auto Body's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Auto Body by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. Well, good afternoon, everyone out there across the great fruited plains of Long Island, Nassau, Suffolk County, and soon to be statewide. It is the one and only Crash Course Radio with your humble host, Peter Crouch. Welcome, one and all. Hey, we're going to have a real fun time here today. All right, we had fun 2 weeks ago, and then we got back to not so fun, and didn't work out too well with the question of the day. But I think you're going to like the question of the day today. I think we're going to have a good time. Hey, everybody who participated in the question of the day 2 weeks ago, we were talking about Long Island racing, the history of racing here on Long Island. I actually learned a lot myself. I thought I knew everything about that, but not so. In fact, how many racetracks we actually had here on Long Island, that was pretty eye-opening. All right, and then the other little stuff that we discovered, and we had a lot of people call in. It was great. We had a lot of fun, and we gave away some stuff. I want everybody to just sit tight. I didn't forget about you. All right, your free stuff is coming. Like I said, Santa Claus is always in the house here. It is always the North Pole here. It might be 90 degrees outside, but it's the North Pole here inside this studio. Hey, speaking of the studio, 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. Brings you into little old me. You get to talk to me. What's on your mind? If you want to talk about cars, you want to talk about vintage cars, racing on Long Island, if you got an insurance issue, if you're putting a claim in, you're presently involved in a claim, you need a little advice, all right? Or if maybe you're just looking for a great body shop, give me a call here, all right? Let me make sure I set you on the path in the right direction, all right? That's what we do through Crash Course, and of course, CollisionServiceNetwork.com, CollisionServiceNetwork.com, the one and only place you need to be where you need, when you need, is a really good auto body shop. All right, and we do a lot of other stuff there too, right? We offer really great people in the way of personal injury attorneys and also, independent auto insurance brokers, right? And I've touched on all that here on this show. All right, we'll continue to do that. We've dedicated shows to episodes to that subject matter. Speaking of subject matter, all right, let's get to the question of the day. I think we're going to have some fun today on this. All right, I thought this was a pretty cool topic. Like I said, folks, if you've been following the show and listening to the show, thank you very much. Appreciate your support. All right, please continue to spread the good news about Crash Course. All right, is the first and only radio show dedicated to promoting and supporting the privately owned and operated auto body industry, but most importantly, educating and informing the consumer, right? You folks, because I get to speak to the folks every Tuesday afternoon behind this mic. I love doing this. And we're going to continue on doing that for the balance of this year. All right, and that's due in part to the generosity and dedication of V&J Auto Body, all right, one of our amazing sponsors here at Crash Course. Chandler Ravone, James Ravone, thank you very much for your continued support and dedication to Crash Course and, of course, Collision Service Network. All right, but like I said, we're getting to talk to the folks. That's what separates us from the rest. All right, and we can definitely say we are the voice of the Long Island auto body industry. Right? Don't let anybody kid you otherwise. All right? That's because you're hearing my voice right now. All right? You're not going to hear anything from the other guys, but you will hear from us. All right, you know the mantra? Been listening? If you don't, if you just stop by, you turn in the dial, and you're like, what's this guy all about? I got another half an hour to kill. Let me see what he's talking about. All right, well, welcome to the show. Stick around. I guarantee you'll be scratching your head, and you'll walk away learning a little something, and maybe have a little fun, right? We try to have fun here. I think Crash Course is a radio show you can have a lot of fun, and it's free. Doesn't cost you anything. All right, and sometimes you even walk away with free stuff. All right, like I said, Santa Claus is in the house. 631-451-1039 if you want to be part of the show. All right, speaking of being part of the show, here we go. Question of the day. So what were the most popular car races held at Islip Speedway? All right, now, I grew up right in the vicinity of Islip Speedway. I grew up in Brentwood, and I could literally hear the cars racing on Saturday nights. It was pretty cool. Growing up as a kid, obviously that was really cool stuff as a kid to hear race cars. And then as we got older, and became more aware of it as a sport and a spectator sport as well, we would find our way down there. We would ride our bicycles over there and watch. And then as I got really older, got to befriend a friend of mine I was growing up with. Actually had a cousin who would race a car there, so we got really cool. We were able to go into the pits. I was in the pits at Islip Speedway last night. That was cool, but it was fun. Right, it was fun. If you grew up in that era, right, it was a good time. Right, it was wholesome American entertainment. And everybody had a real fun time, right? And I didn't realize how popular it was on Long Island. Like I said, 2 weeks ago, we investigated this here by having a little bit of a contest. But by having the contest, we also all discovered just how widespread and popular racing was. I think that the figure was 600, I believe 694 racetracks that were operating here at one point. All right. So pretty cool stuff. All right. So question of the day. All right. I want to hear from all the motorheads out there. All right. All the racing guys. All right. Or people who just enjoyed racing, car racing on Long Island, right? In its heyday. I know I did. All right. We had the drag strip in West Hampton Beach, Islip Speedway. We had Riverhead Speedway, Freeport, right? And a lot of cool stuff, a lot of good times there. All right. What were the most popular races held at Islip Speedway? And believe it or not, Islip Speedway, folks, actually was a national phenomenon. All right. And let me see if anybody knows why and how that happened. All right. So give us a call, 631-451-1039, to participate in the show today and give us an answer to that question of the day, and also win yourself some nice free stuff. All right. We like to give away a $10 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts. All right, and then some really other cool promotional brand stuff as well. All right, so let's move along with the show. Last week, speaking of the show, because this is a show dedicated to the Long Island privately owned and operated auto body industry and educating the folks. And in that light, last week's question didn't go over too well. I know it was a departure from the week before. It wasn't as fun, but does my insurance company have to pay the labor rate that my body shop charges? Now, why is that important, right? Because as consumers, as private people, customers, private customers, we're kind of scratching our heads like, well, what do I care about the labor rate? I got insurance, I bring it to the shop, and they got to pay. Well, not exactly, all right? And if you go to the wrong shop, you could pay. Hey, and don't forget, a few months ago, I'm going to come back to this because this was really interesting. There's been a new development on this too. I also talked about this whole idea that's originating out west now, that's starting to get traction, this Copay. All right, everybody should get a nervous tick when they hear that, Copay. I know I do. When it comes to your medical insurance, you have your deductible, and then you have your co-insurance, and then you have your copay, and by the time you get done paying yourself for the coverage that you paid for, they pay nothing. The medical guys, it's hysterical, right? Well, some wizards of know out there in the auto body industry, out in I believe it's Washington State or Oregon or somewhere out there, got together, and rather than dealing with the hard issue of negotiating with the insurance companies and making them understand, holding their feet to the fire, making them understand why it is that you need to do A, B, C, and D to your customer's car to restore that car to its pre-loss condition, they just figure, you know what, I'll throw my hands up in the air. I'll just start charging my customer more money. On top of your deductible, you're not going to have to pay a copay. How cool is that, right? Not really. Not good at all. But it is getting traction out there, folks, and unfortunately, these things have a way to kind of migrate this way. All right, so that's something that bears mentioning, bears watching, and it does kind of tie in with what I'm talking about today here. Whereas, if you get in an accident and you go to a body shop, all right, and there's a labor rate involved, right? The insurance company's going to pay X amount of dollars an hour to write an appraisal, all right, which hopefully should reflect accurately the damages are on your car, all right, and then reach an agreed price with the body shop. However, labor rate, more often than not, is what contributes to a lot of these different sticking points, all right, in the negotiation process. All right, we got about 45 seconds here. We're going on our first break. I can't believe how fast time flies here on Crash Course, but I don't know what to tell you. We have more fun than should be legally allowed. All right, so on the other side of the break, let's start taking some phone calls. Let's get somebody to have some fun with the question of the day. All right, question of the day is, what were the most popular races held at ISUP Speedway? All right, they did a lot of different things there, but what were the two most popular? These things also helped them get national recognition. Give us a call on the other side of the break. All right, welcome back, everyone, to Crash Course Radio with your one and only humble host, Peter Krausch, also the founder and creator of Collision Service Network, the one and only company that is helping people find a better way when it comes to finding a reliable and trustworthy auto body shop. All right, and I've dedicated an episode or two, a show or two to that theme, okay, about how you can't just throw a dart up against the wall anymore and where it lands, pick a guy right around the corner, right? We're not going to get into that today because we have other stuff to cover, but CollisionServiceNetwork.com is there for the folks, and it's also there to support and promote, all right, the privately owned and operated auto body industry across Long Island. You can also reach Collision Service Network or one of our amazing professionals at 631-452-2569. All right, give us a call, and we'll make sure that you get pointed in the right direction. All right. Hey, I want to give a shout out real quick to a few folks out there. All right, Jerry, if you're listening, Jerry's our man out in Southampton. All right, if you drive a Tesla and you're in that neck of the woods, you should be stopping by, saying hello to Jerry, get to know V&J. All right, V&J is a certified Tesla facility. We were the first certified facility in Suffolk County. All right, there is at least one other that has come along. All right, but I can say with very strict confidence that we are the best. All right, we are number one, and there's a reason for that. All right, we were the first to start tackling these cars. We were the first to be immersed in these cars educationally and also technologically. All right, and we've been at it for over 5 years now. We've fixed probably thousands of these things. All right, and of course, all different models and makes. So there probably isn't a problem or a situation, either logistically or technically, that we haven't faced. And we've been able to work out, and that's a good thing for our customers. All right, so if you're out in Southampton, stop by, say hello to Jerry. Jerry, I hope you're listening today. 60 Windmill Lane. All right, I think it's off of Nugent. All right, stop by, say hello. It's our satellite office out there. I think Jerry's got some refreshments out there for the folks. All right, and introduce yourself, and if you need us, well, you'll know where to find us. All right, we got free concierge service, folks. That's right. We don't expect our customers to take the walk, all right? We'll make sure that car gets to us and back to you, all right, without a hassle. Hey, I also want to give a shout-out to our friends over at High End Collision. Hello to Brian and Sean, all right? I know they listen to the show. So if you guys are checking in today, we're checking in with you, all right? Saying hello to those guys. High End Collision, folks. If you're in the East Islip area, please give these folks a call, all right? They are a consummate family business. Brian, I know for decades, a great guy, all right, professional operation. They're going to make sure they represent your interests and not the interests of the insurance company. We've covered that here. Big difference, all right? You got choices, all right? Make sure you're making the right ones, all right? Let CollisionServiceNetwork.com help you make that choice. All right, I want to give a shout out to, let me see, V&J, Keith Caruso. Keith, if you're still listening, or if you're listening, hello, Keith. Keith is one of my coworkers over there at V&J. Hey, V&J Auto Body, what can I say? They have been more than generous with Crash Course Radio, supporting us from the very beginning, all right, and continue to do so graciously, and we appreciate their support. And, folks, when you utilize a shop like V&J Auto Body, all right, you get the expertise, professionalism, all right, and experience of somebody like myself and my partner, Keith Caruso. All right, both myself and Keith have been at this for a combined probably 40 years. All right, and on the insurance side and on the body shop side, I've been at it for over 8.5, and he's been at it for almost 4. So you got a lot of experience, and that's what it's all about when you go to V&J and when you go to a Collision Service Network shop. Okay, that's the difference, folks. All right, you're going to get people that are in the know and not people that want to go. All right. It was a little cliche there. I don't even know if it made sense, but it sounded cool. All right. 631-451-1039. Come on, let's go. Get your thinking caps on. Let's have some fun today. All right. We had a lot of fun with this similar topic a few weeks ago. All right. What were the most popular races held at ISUP Speedway? All right. Long Island was a huge racing capital. And I didn't know it. All right. We found out last week, though. All right. So, and this is really interesting stuff. All right. So let's get somebody to dial in. All right. Let's get somebody who wants to be brave enough, get on the air here, talk to me about this. All right. Hey, if you know something else about Long Island racing, call in. We want to hear about it. All right. Hey, don't forget also, folks. All right. When you're listening here, all right, and if you like the show, you heard something, and you might have checked in and said, you know what, I want to check that out again. It was something that we mentioned and talked about. All right, you can catch us on Sundays. All right, it's a rerun. It's not a live show. It's a rerun of Tuesday's show. All right, but you can find us there, I believe, probably Sunday afternoon. All right, and you can catch the show again over there. We're also, been stretching our legs into many other things too. Right, I've spoken that before. I think we have Larry from Baiting Hollow. Wow, Baiting Hollow, Larry, I tell you, brings back a lot of Boy Scout experiences out there.
Yes, I was a Boy Scout 50 years ago.
All right, amen, brother. Me too. Right, good experiences. Yeah, they had the Baiting Hollow. It was like a sleepaway camp.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, the lean-tos out there and everything. Really cool stuff. All right, Larry, you going to take a crack at the question today?
Well, the question's about the ISUP Speedway.
Yeah, ISUP Speedway. So there were a lot of races held there, but what were the most popular ones?
I would say the one was the Demolition Derby. They had it on the Wide World of Sports in the early 70s with Chris Economaki was the commentator.
Larry got it, folks. I keep saying we've got the smartest listeners out there. Larry, you hit it right out of the park, my man. That's exactly it. And I tell you, it stunned me because I grew up around ISUP Speedway. I had no idea that ISUP Speedway was that famous. Yes, Larry hit it. Larry hit it right on the head, folks. So, Demolition Derby, you're right, was the World Championship, and the Figure Eight World Championship. Do you remember that, Larry?
I Figure Eight, yes, but I just wanted to mention also that I was in the 1970 World Championship Demolition Derby. That was aired on ABC Wide World of Sports.
Holy cow, that is so cool. That's
pretty cool.
That's excellent, Larry. Yeah, I had a buddy of mine that I worked with for a while, Tommy Ferrara, and he was a big-time racer up at Riverhead. He just retired a couple years ago, and his whole family was all into the whole history of racing. Some of them, the Crafts and his cousins, they raced at ISUP Speedway too, so good stuff. Larry, appreciate the call. Larry, stay on the line, and my engineer is going to capture your vitals, and we'll get you out some cool stuff and a $10 gift card on us to Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
Okay, good. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, man. Hey, folks, how's that? How cool is that, right? This is what we do here, Crash Course. So you get smarter here, and you also get to have fun. And it doesn't get any better than that, I tell you. Yeah, so it was Larry hit it. It was the Demolition Derby World Championship and the Figure Eight World Championship. Those were the two most popular races. And Larry's right. They was made popular because apparently the feature race was taped for future broadcasts on ABC Wide World of Sports. Right now, when I grew up, Wide World of Sports was it. I mean, me and my brother couldn't wait to get up on Saturday after cartoons in the afternoon and later morning and watch Wide World of Sports. I mean, the skiing, everything. It was just great. The racing. Wide World of Sports was everything back then. I mean, I'm sure it's still around. I'm sure it's a brand, but it was a big, big deal back then. It said here, these broadcasts led to increased exposure and notoriety of the track, which came to be known as world-famous ISUP Speedway. So how cool is that, right? So if everybody grew up around there like I did in the late 60s and the 70s, good stuff, folks, right? I mean, we definitely have contributed to society here in Long Island in the talent pool, right? And also in many other facets, obviously racing now too, right? I mean, we have all kinds of amazing singers and bands and now apparently racing. I had no idea. So ISUP closed in 1984. It's interesting, 1984. So I didn't know that. I thought it actually closed early. I thought it closed in 1980, but apparently it was open for all the way through 1984. So really cool stuff. Real quick, we got 50 seconds. Another thing I found as Richard Petty. Okay? That's right. The Richard Petty. Guess what? He raced at Islip Speedway. Islip Speedway hosted NASCAR sanctioned racing there from the late 60s through the early 70s. And Richard Petty, I believe he raced in 1974. How cool is that when he was an early racer? Still trying to get his feet wet. All right, cool stuff. I tell you, only here on Crash Course. All right, when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation about the labor rate and why you do need to pay attention to that as a customer, as a consumer, even though you have insurance, folks. All right, we'll see you on the other side of the break.
Is a little higher.
For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their own automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Auto Body's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Auto Body by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. All right. Boy, the breaks go as quick as the segments do here at Crash Course Radio. I don't know what to tell you. Time flies. Hey, thanks for joining us here. This is Crash Course. Of course, the one and only Crash Course. All right. And I am your host, Peter Crouch. All right, so welcome back. We just had a really great caller there, Larry. Also, I would say a historical caller, right? I would put that in that category. Larry participated in history. Right? Larry actually drove in one of the races, Islip Speedway. All right, so how cool was that? And like I said, you get smart here, you have fun here. I don't know where else you want to be for this hour between 3 and 4, right? You can't be anywhere else. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm looking at the screen here. I got some additional information on that Sunday business here now that we rerun the show. All right, and I said Sunday afternoon. It is the afternoon, so it looks like 1 p.m. All right, so if you're out and about, all right, and you heard something here that was cool on the show Tuesday, and you're just cruising around on a Sunday afternoon, you got nothing to do, you can find us again. All right, at 1 p.m. they replay the show on Sunday now. How cool is that? All right, I guess we've been at it long enough. They're giving us a little gravitas here, a little freedom to expand, folks. We've also expanded. All right, thanks to the hard work of my social media manager Anthony, who has taken a well-earned vacation in Utah, so I hope he's having a good time out there. All right, but seriously, though, we are on Instagram. We are on Anchor, YouTube, Spotify. All right, so Spotify is a podcasting thing. That's what I've been told. All right, and we're getting into that. We're looking into that to evolve that a little more, so that should be pretty cool. We want to dovetail that with the radio. Instagram's a really cool platform for me. I enjoy going on there. I'll do some quick videos. All right, we were doing a bit there for a couple of months called Quick Tip. All right, I'm going to get back to that. All right, so always check me out. If you're an Instagram person, all right, then follow me. All right, if you're not, all right, check it out anyway, and I'm sure you'll find it's cool. It's fun. All right, I'm 60. So I thought it was interesting when I got involved with it. And then I was forced to because I wanted to get the business on there. But anyway, in all seriousness, no, Instagram's a great platform for us. Get to reach the folks real quick when I got something important to say. And like I said, we're going to resurrect the quick tip thing again. All right, where we're basically me, and I'm talking to the folks and giving you guys some ideas and useful stuff. All right, so good stuff there. YouTube, we finally got the YouTube channel running. All right, we are expanding that as well. All right, we're going to get some more content in there. I want to get to the point where we can make that live. All right, so you'll actually be able to see little old me. All right, don't worry. I'm not as hideous as you might think. All right, so a lot of cool stuff happening. All right, so if you enjoy the show, if you enjoy CollisionServiceNetwork.com, if you enjoy Crash Course Radio, great. Thank you very much for your support. Continue to listen, and you can find us in these different venues as well. All right, so let's get back to some serious stuff here. I just have to say this. I have to bring this up. After Larry's call, dug around a little more. Well, actually, I dug around last night, but I dug around in my notes here. So this is so cool. I'm going to actually throw this out there. Right? I want to see if somebody knows this. I thought this was really so cool. Right? Dovetails with what we just found out today about ISUP Speedway, and it was on the Wide World of Sports, and it actually became a national phenomenon. How the heck did I know? I was growing up in the 70s in Brentwood, all right, and practically lived in the place, and I was participating in a place that was national, had national exposure. But somebody else gave us a lot of exposure, somebody who would go on to be a very, very, very famous racer, all right, one of the most winningest races today. All right, so if we got motorheads out there, people that are in the NASCAR, all right, I want to hear from you. Come on, man, I know somebody's out there listening to the show, and they're big time in the racing. So who was this famous race car driver? All right, he's retired now, long retired. But who was this famous race car driver that did race, okay, at ISUP Speedway? ISUP Speedway did host a number of NASCAR certified races, late 60s into the early and mid 70s. So, and this guy was a very prominent racer. All right, so let's see if somebody wants to give it a crack. 631-451-1039. 631-451-1039. All right, and let's get back here. We got about 5 minutes. Let's drill down into this labor rate thing. All right, so does my insurance company have to pay the labor rate that my body shop charges? All right, so no. How's that? All right, that's the end of that issue. Open and shut, right? No, we'll move on. No, seriously though, they don't. All right, now why is that important? All right, because you get in an accident, right? You make the claim, call your insurance company. You should be talking to us before you're speaking with them, right? That's our little saying there at CollisionServiceNetwork.com, right? What we always say. You should be speaking to us before you talk to them being the insurance guys, all right? But if you can't, I get that. Things happen, all right? And you get a hold of them first, the insurance guys, all right? There's a lot of things that happen, right? I said filing an insurance claim, folks, all right? It's a very daunting task, all right? It can be a little intimidating. It's very complicating. All right, insurance companies will tell you it's not. It's not. If you file what they want you to do, then according to them, it's not, right? Just do this, and do that, and everything will be great. No. You don't want to do that, all right? And I've spoken at length about why you want to do that. Insurance companies are a business, and like any other business, they're always looking for ways to save money, all right? They look for ways to cut costs when, where, and often. That starts the minute you pick up the phone to make a claim, all right? But they don't need any help with that. They do that really well, so don't help them, all right? Don't help them save money, all right? Help yourself. And you go to CollisionServiceNetwork.com, or you call us at 631-452-2569. We're going to take care of you, give you the information and knowledge you need and can use, and advice you can trust, right? So labor rate, do they have to pay your shop's labor rate? No, not at all. In fact, they can't even compel to. Now, ironically, Regulation 64, which is what protects you and I against the big bad insurance companies, it actually says that all aspects of the claim are negotiable, all right? But I'm here to tell you, folks, from a guy that was an insurance professional for decades and a guy that works in the shop side, good luck, all right? Good luck. Very little negotiating going on with labor rate, all right? Most insurance companies have an established rate that they have determined is fair and reasonable that they utilize for negotiating auto damage repairs. This rate may vary slightly from one geographical location to another, such as upstate New York versus the Long Island area or Manhattan, or maybe, versus Montana. All right. These rates will vary then. But some companies do adjust rates for specialized vehicles, aluminum structures, heavy equipment, specialized vehicles, exotic vehicles, and things like that. All right. The insurance company may further require that the shop demonstrate, all right, that they have the necessary equipment, training, and certifications to receive an adjusted labor rate. Folks, where are we going with this? Right? Think about it. Where are we going? All right? We're going down the rabbit hole here of why it's so important to understand who's fixing your car today. All right, this is the new castrati. This is the new world. All right, when it comes to the world of insurance and auto body. All right, and you don't want to get caught on the wrong side of these issues. All right, if your shop simply doesn't have these type of things, they're not going to get a labor rate adjustment. Now, if you're driving an exotic car, an expensive car, a specialized car, a technical car like a Tesla or something like that, they're not going to get a labor rate adjustment. Ain't happening. Okay, that could backfire on you. Right? Other than your deductible, your body shop might be asking you to cough up a little more. All right, so therefore, you need to utilize Collision Service Network when choosing a shop. All right, our network of body shops includes those who have attained elite repair certifications together with the most professional staff. Labor rate remains a very nebulous and contentious issue for the collision services repair industry. All right. Again, New York State's Reg 64, I just said this earlier, is the guiding authority, all right, on this matter, which states all aspects of the claim are negotiable, and this includes labor rates. This is a free market economy, and as such, all body shops can choose any labor rate they feel is necessary to conduct business and make a profit. That's it, folks. It's capitalism. Free market. All right. Insurance companies love to latch on to that, all right, when it serves their interest. And I hear that music coming again. All right, that means we are going into our final break and our final segment. All right, we're going to continue this a little bit, and then we'll finish up with some stack of stuff. All right, I'll see you on the other side of the break. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the final segment here of Crash Course Radio. Exciting stuff, right? Having fun and getting smart at the same time. I tell you, it doesn't get any better than this. And you know what? Frustrating the heck out of the insurance guys with one arm tied behind my back. I tell you, it's raw talent. Must be on loan from God. 631-451-1039. Looking for an answer, all right, about the racing at ISOP Speedway. All right, so it was actually, I think they said the late 60s through the early, maybe up to the mid 70s. They actually they did participate in NASCAR. Apparently, they had NASCAR sponsored racing there, and there was a very, very famous racer who participated in at least 2 races there. He would go on to become a Hall of Famer. Everybody knows him. All right, so if you're a motorhead or you're a racing guy or girl, I want to hear from you. 631-451-1039. Let's have a little fun here before we end up the show. Does anybody know who that famous racer is that actually got the race here, right here on Long Island in ISOP Speedway? All right, and it was, I believe it was, I'm even going to help you out. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to help you out. It was 1974. Bam! All right, so, and let me also put this out there. My engineer here has just informed me that we made the leap and changed our soundtrack on our intro. So it's exciting stuff. All right. It's going to be a little more upbeat. Maybe you know it. Maybe you don't. All right. And driver's seat. All right. Look it up. Everybody goes to YouTube today. All right. Sniffing tears. Driver's seat. That's going to be the new intro music line. All right. So pick it up here for the summer. All right. A little more upbeat music for the upbeat season, spring and summer. All right, so let's see what we got here. We got Larry. Larry's calling in again. Larry's on a roll today, folks. Larry, welcome back to Crash Course. What do you got for us, bud?
I would go with Bobby Allison.
Bobby Allison. There's a flash from the past. You know what? I love Bobby Allison. I was a big fan when I was a kid, but I'm giving you the buzzer, Larry. You'll have to... Okay. We're on a very low-budget operation here, shoestring, not even shoestring. So I have to make my own sound effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I was down there. I used to watch Allison and Petty all the time when it came down.
Oh, wait a minute, folks. We're going to have to give it to Larry. Larry, you slipped it in there. Richard Petty. Oh. There it is. Woo! Larry, I'm telling you, boy, you're a walking, living history. So you not only raced in one of those races, but you also just gave us the answer. Right, very good. And you know what, Bobby Allison, I believe you're right. He did participate in some racing here on Long Island, but it was Richard Petty who, through the NASCAR circuit, raced here, I believe, in 1974 in at least 2, maybe 3 races. So pretty cool stuff, right? I mean, again, I was big time into racing as a kid. Always watched the Daytona 500, the Indianapolis. Practically lived at Islip Speedway, but never appreciated the history and the impact that Long Island had on racing. So really cool stuff. Hey Larry, listen, I want to make sure I capture. I know we got your phone number, but before you hang up, make sure you give your vitals to my guy. All right, so this way I can get everything out to you.
Okay.
All right, Larry. All right, Larry. Thank you, man. Hey, enjoy the rest of the week. All right.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
All right, you got it. Hey, folks, what can I tell you? Fun stuff, right? I mean, that's what we try and do here. I said that a couple months ago. I said we were going to change things up, expand the themes, right? Expand the format, and expand the format, bring in more themes, and that's what we're doing, right? So cool stuff. And I had a few guests on a few months ago. Don't forget, if you're interested in racing, Riverhead isn't the only option anymore. We do indeed have a drag strip again. And I had the gentleman on, Mr. Cohen, who was intimately involved in making that happen with, I believe, with the town of Brookhaven and some other interests. But we have a drag strip. How cool is that? All right, it's the old Calverton, the military base out there in Calverton, the old air base. Apparently, they utilized that tremendously long runway. I've actually been on it. I've mountain biked out there and ended up on that thing. It's a godforsaken place to end up in the middle of the summer on a mountain bike. It just feels like you're never going to get to the end. But apparently they utilize a drag strip, and it's been pretty successful, and it's going strong. And I think he said they got some abbreviated season, unfortunately, because of some birds that run around out there. I don't know. But I know they go from August to September, I think, or the middle of August to the end of September. All right? So pretty cool stuff. All right? So the drag strip is alive. All right, so we got about 4 minutes. I just want to kind of get back to this labor rate thing, all right, because it's interesting, all right, and I think people don't really think about it. I know when we go to the dealer, God forbid, right, you got to go to the dealer with your car, it's $190 an hour, or you just go to your local mechanic, all right, so we kind of get price shocked with that, right, but we pay it. Think about it. You just pay it. But for some reason with body shop or with collision, you remember I talked about this? I mean, we did the man on the street thing, right? You just got in a car wreck. Where you bringing your car? Most people look at you and go, I don't know. But if I turn around, I did that. Hey, your car sounds like you need a brake job, or you haven't been to mechanic in years. Get your oil changed. Oh, I'm going to go to Artie's auto repair. Or I'm going to go, Mr. Nick down the road. Everybody's got a guy when it comes to mechanical, right? And and I pointed out the reason for that, right? One's a need to, and the other one's an as needed. Okay? And when it's a need to, you make sure it happens, right? I mean, especially when we need our cars. Okay? But on the body shop side, that's always been a very difficult challenge for that industry. All right? But that's got to change today, folks. Got to change, right? And I think it is changing, right? Because more and more of us, as a result of COVID, are owning our cars. Very rarely do I get people coming and saying they're leasing anything anymore. All right, we saw a paradigm shift in that entire car buy, and I dedicated a whole segment to that, about how everybody is transitioned back to buying cars, whether it's a used car, new car, doesn't matter, financing or just buying it outright. And that is such a cool thing, because that's what it was when I started in this industry back in the mid '80s. I told you didn't even know what the word lease was. I mean, unless you were talking about an apartment or an office or something. All right, everybody just owned everything, and it was great because everybody had a personal stake. Right? When you own something, think about it, right? Our founders talked about this. That's why they wanted us to own property, right? Own a house. Because when you own something, guess what? Now you care. All right? So that's what we're doing here in Crash Course. We're letting people know that you need to take a personal stake in who's fixing these cars today, folks. Especially with the technology packages that are on them and all the materials. You'll get some cars, like a Tesla, can have 4 different materials on it. A regular, just a straight up automobile, gas-powered automobile, you might have 4 different materials. Right, literally. Right, and if that guy's fixing your car, he better know what's on there and what all those materials, what they are, what they're made out of, and how they respond to repair versus replace. It's all important stuff. Right, and not everybody's got that. Right, it's a lot of shops out there. All right, they're not all staying educated. Trust me, folks. All right, so the labor rate thing. Let's finish up with that. We got about 2 minutes. All right, as I said, all right, it's a free market economy. All right. As such, all body shops can choose any labor rate they feel is necessary to conduct business and make a profit. So while Reg 64, New York State Regulation 64 states that the labor rate should be considered during negotiations, all right, most insurance companies will not address it. They're not going to address it, folks, unless it's extenuating circumstances. It ain't happening. Trust me. All right, this means you could end up paying your deductible, all right, and a difference in labor costs. Therefore, you must choose a collision service network collision repair facility who will have the knowledge and skills necessary to negotiate effectively, all right, and with the insurance company, and who will represent your interests, ensuring you are fully indemnified and your vehicle is restored to its pre-loss condition, meeting all your expectations at no additional cost to you. Your expectations, not the insurance company's, yours, at no extra expense to you, folks. That is a monumental difference there. Trust me. Okay, I've been on both sides of the fence with that too. I've worked in an insurance-sponsored auto body shop, and I've been with independent shops. All right, they're light years apart on this. All right, don't be fooled. I know if I got body shops out there, I know some of them are probably throwing their hands up in the air. Oh, that's a bunch of baloney, blah, blah, blah. It's not. Okay, labor rate's a real issue. All right, it affects the insurance side and it affects the body shop side. All right? But you're not going to be a victim of that because you listen to Crash Course and you're the smartest guy or girl out there. All right, folks, looks like we're wrapping things up. Had a lot of fun today. I hope you did too. Everybody enjoy the rest of the week. All right, looks like we're starting to actually feel like spring. Cool. I know I'm getting psyched. How about this new music? I think this will psych us up for spring and summer. All right, everybody, have a good week. I'll see you next Tuesday.
Jenny was sweet. She always